Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I know I've been quiet for a couple of days for various other technical issues and also just not getting around to making videos, but I thought to keep the channel alive, I'd better just upload a video, because if I don't upload a video this week, then I'm probably never going to get around to doing it, because, I don't know, I'll just keep putting it off. So I just thought, I need to upload a video, and I won't be able to get the Arachnid in the UK video up until Sunday, so that's a bit of a pain. So I just thought, let's just do something to keep the channel alive. And yeah, shout out to Clacka the Geek, who I saw his video on this. This was brilliant, so go check it out. I'll probably link it in the description below. So yeah, that video was amazing. And I just thought, could I do something similar to that? So yeah, these are just some using the Tardis, the dreaded Tardis, who has been very mean to me recently. You'll know why when you see my when you see my Arachnids in the UK video. Yeah, the Tardis was very mean to me then. So yeah, I'm just gonna do some on the spot reviews, pick an episode out, review it in, I don't know, just a few seconds, and give it a rating out of 10. And we'll just do a few, not many. It's just going to be a bit of a shorter video. But as I say, I'm just doing it to keep the channel alive, make sure I'm still uploading the content, so it just stays a channel and I don't just keep putting it off. So let's just get started. Okay, it's the first episode. This could be a bit loud. Sorry. But the first is On The Fireplace. So Stephen Moffat's second episode on Doctor Who. This is Series 2, Episode 4. And I think this episode is beautiful. It really has a really good love story without putting the romance way too in your face, if you know what I mean. The performance of Renette, Madame de Pompadour, is phenomenal. I think that actor gives a brilliant job with what she gets, and also I think David Tennant gives us probably his best performance so far in this episode. And also seeing Mickey return from school reunion in the previous episode was a very, very good idea. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. I think it's brilliant. Next up we do have, so now you get what we're doing. Arachnids in the UK. Okay, so just a brief summary of what I think of the episode, because that's the one I'm reviewing this week. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm actually not going to do that. I'm gonna save that until the review on Sunday, because if I give my rating, then that'll give away my rating. What I'm going to do, give it on Sunday. So yeah, I'm not going to do that one. Cold War. So a Series 7 episode with Matt Smith and Clara. I actually think this episode is quite underrated. You don't see many people talking about this. This is a Mark Gatiss script, and I think the Ice Warriors are really good in this story. Having just one of them, and it's like Dalek. We just have one Dalek, but it still works really well. I mean, it doesn't work as good as Dalek, obviously, but I still think this works really well. It's a nice base under siege story, something we hadn't seen very much of in the Matt Smith era, so it's nice to have that back. And like I said, the supporting characters in the base under siege stories are always brilliant, and this is no exception. I think the supporting characters in here are brilliant. Having David Warner there is fantastic. In just the whole setting of it, it really feels very claustrophobic, which is very good. And seeing the Ice Warrior out of the armor is a great idea. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, because I do think it has pacing issues. Alright, next up we have Closing Time. So Matt Smith episode, Series 6, Episode 12, with Craig, who's coming back from the lodge. So it was nice to have Craig back, because I do think he is a very good character. However, I don't think this episode works as well as The Lodger. I really do think the humour doesn't land as well in this one. Having the Cybermen just defeated by hearing Alfie the baby cry, Sumigen, is very stupid. It doesn't make the Cybermen look very good, and just not what the Cybermen needed at this point in time, because the Cybermen were really deteriorating in quality at this point, so having them defeated by love is really not good for them. So yeah, I didn't think the humour worked as well. I think it was very cheesy. Entertaining in some respects. I think that it was a little bit boring at times. However, I do think this episode a little bit underrated, and I will defend this for the most part. However, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. It's very, very average, right there in the middle. Right, next up, The Rings of Akaten, going back to Series 7, this time Episode 7, with Matt Smith and Clara Oswald again. I don't like this episode. I think the speech is brilliant, and I love the long song. I love the long song. I think that's one of the best tracks that Doctor Who has ever given us. Those two couldn't save it. I don't really care for Clara in this episode. She's good, and I don't mind Clara as much as some people do. However, I just don't care for her in this episode. And it's just a very weird story. It's very empty, very bland, not much at all going on. And I really couldn't summarise the story. The Doctor takes Clara to the Festival of Offerings, and I forget what happens. I really do. I just forget. No matter how many times I watch this episode, I just forget it. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. Alright, next up, we'll just do a couple more. We don't want it to go boring, because I imagine this is something that you can't do for a minute on end. The Time of Angels and Flesh and Stone. So another Matt Smith episode from Series 5 this time. Matt Smith and Amy. I really do like this episode. Okay, it's not as good as Blink or Angels Take Manhattan. However, I think it's a solid two-parter. I do have issues with it, mainly the angels, because we see an angel move. What's that? What is that? No, it removes any scare factor of the angels, and also the whole don't look into the eye thing. I really do have mixed feelings about it. It feels like Moffat's trying to reveal too much about the angels, which is really not what we need, and it almost makes me think, would the angels would have just been better to stay in Blink, and that was it. That would have been good. However, I do love Angels Take Manhattan, and I love this episode as well. I think having River return is very good. Supporting characters are great. The resolution is a bit meh. The Doctor doesn't do anything. If the Doctor hasn't been there, it would have resolved itself, basically. However, I have a lot of fun with this episode, so I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. All right, let's not have a Matt Smith this time. Let's have something else. The 11th Hour, another Matt Smith episode. Okay, Matt Smith's first episode this time. I really do like this episode. I don't think it's as good as some people say it is. However, it's still great. I think this runs a great job of introducing the characters. Of course, this is Moffat's very first episode as showrunner. And he does a great job of this episode. I really do think it's great. The Attrax isn't the best villain in the world. However, I can let it pass because it's in the series opener, and the threat isn't supposed to be that big. Alright, if we get a Matt Smith this time, I'm going to redraw, because we haven't had a... Oh no, we did have a David Tennant at the start, didn't we? The Crimson Horror. Okay, I'll just... The Next Doctor, Christmas Special 2008. David Tennant's penultimate Christmas special. I was going to say last there, but I forgot about End of Time. I actually really think this episode is underrated. I think it's really sweet. I think it has a great storyline. The Cybermen are amazing in it. Of course, this is another Cybermen episode. Again, like I was saying before, the Cybermen, this is really when the Cybermen started to deteriorate in quality. They just weren't as threatening. The Cyber King is a bit naff. But I think Jackson Lake as a character works brilliantly. I think I do have a lot of fun in this story. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Alright, finally, I think we'll make this the last one in Letter to Matt Smith. I think we need a Capaldi. We haven't had a Capaldi or a Whittaker yet. So, Girl Who Died, The Woman Who Lived. Oh, I absolutely hate this episode. It's my least favourite episode of all time at the moment. Series 9 episode, Peter Capaldi, Clara. No, I really don't like it. I think Ashilda is such a boring character. And to this day, I still don't know what the hybrid is. So, yeah. It's just so boring. Woman Who Lived is a little bit better than Girl Who Died, but Girl Who Died is lackluster. 1.5 out of 10. It only gets a 0.5 because of Capaldi remembering his face. So, I'll go on and we'll have one more. One last go on the other side. Hyde, another Matt Smith episode. I don't think this episode works that well. I think they tried to go for this ghost story thing, but when it all came together, it just didn't really work. It felt very boring, and then the whole Crooked Man thing looked absolutely ridiculous in CGI levels. Yeah, I didn't like this episode. 3 out of 10, yeah. Okay, so that is this video for today. I'll be back on Sunday with a Arachnids in the UK review with a special guest appearance of Jumping Shadow. Yeah, he'll be back again for the review. So yes, that will be a bit of a different sort of video, different setup and stuff like that. However, it'll still be roughly the same thing, just with another person being there. Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. We have already recorded it, we just need to upload it now. So yeah, I'll see you then. Drop your thoughts down in the comments below. What are your thoughts on these episodes? You don't have to put your thoughts on every episode, but just put some of your favourites, some of your least favourites down there in the comments below, and some of your ratings as well. I'd be really excited to hear. Also, like and subscribe if you haven't seen this comment, if you enjoyed the video and haven't seen this channel before and you want to see more videos like this, because we will be getting back into the swing of things hopefully by next week. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. Okay, so that is this video for today, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.